Broadcasting live from TV5 Media Center. 25,000 watts ng Balita. Impormasyon, serbisyo, DWFM, Radyo 5, 92.3, News FM.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Power and Play! Narito na ako, Noli Iyala, kilalanin ang mga nasa likod ng bawat laro. Sa buhay man o sa playing court, game na tayo! Power and Play sa Radyo 5, 92.3 News FM.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko. Para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at magpapatalo. Ipag-iwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, Chumbe, Sibay, Lakay, Amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino.
Ika nga ho namin sa Batangas, aba, narinig na. Oktobre na. Aba, handa na ba ho kayo? Hindi lamang ho sa Pasko. Kung hindi sa inyong paboritong kasama tuwing Sabado ng umaga, di paano? Bangon na! Power and Play na. Power and Play with Noli Iyala. Magandang umaga po, kapatid, kabayan. Sa lahat po ng ating mga suki, ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum, Cherry Tigo, it's fun to drive. Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. True religion, where passion meets power. And of course, smart. Live smart. Ako po si Noli Iyala. Magandang umaga sa lahat ng ating mga kaibigan sa Radyo 5, 92.3 News FM. Lahat po ng mga nakikinig dyan, ha? Lalong-lalo na si Rafi Katan, yung aking pong laging kasama sa sasakyan. Rafi, magandang umaga sa iyo. Binabati rin po natin lahat ng mga nakikinig sa 1PH on Signal TV. Lalong-lalo na po yung mga tiga Clark at sa Kapas Tarlac. Yung mga nandyan po sa National New Clark City Sports Complex. Good morning. And of course, everyone tuned in via our coverage sa Facebook Live, our live stream po sa 1PH, Radyo 5, and of course, Power and Play. Aba sabi ko nga kanina, malapit na pala ang Pasko. Ha? Jerjen, alam mo ba kung ilang araw na lang? 85 days na lang. Mga kapatid, hindi sa nagbibilang ako kasi ito na naman, magtatago na naman tayo sa mga inaanak natin. Pero malapit na pala ang Pasko, mga kapatid. At alam naman natin, pag dumadating na itong mga ganitong panahon, nagiging very festive na po. Very relaxed ang ating pakiramdam. Medyo slow down ng konti at nagsisimula na pong maghanda para sa Kapaskuhan. Pero alam nyo po, siyempre marami pa rin tayong mga hamon sa buhay, kaya patuloy po tayong magdasal na hindi po tayo magkasakit o di kaya ay magkaroon ng mga sari-saring problema. Pero pinag-uusapan ng Pasko sa UAAP, mga kapatid, ang mga UAAP fans ay parang feeling Pasko na. Sapagkat ngayong araw pong ito ay magbubukas na ang Season 85 at nagbabalik po ang mga fans sa loob ng stadium, ang mga banda, at kung ano-ano pa, full, wala nang restrictions. Kaya ine-expect natin na marami ang manonood ng opening ngayong araw pong ito. Napakaganda ng mga laban. At mamaya po, makakasama natin para pag-usapan ng Season 85 ng UAAP. Walang iba kundi si Konsihal, Attorney Rebo Saguisag, ang Executive Director ng UAAP sa second hour niyan natin, mga kapatid. Mamaya din po, pinag-uusapan ng Pasko. Ito pong team na to, yung powerlifting team ng Pilipinas, feeling Pasko din dahil kamakailan ay humakot po ito ng sangkaterbang medalya doon sa Southeast Asia Cup ng powerlifting. Mahigit 70 medalya, mga kapatid, yung ating pong powerlifting team. Aba, ang lalakas ng Pinoy, ano? Kita nyo? Kaya po, feeling Pasko. At mamaya rin po sa ating slam book, makakasama natin ang mga taga-powerlifting Association of the Philippines, ang kanilang presidente si Mr. Eddie Torres at ang kanilang national athlete gold medalist si Raf Kahiling. Mamaya po yan, And of course, pag pinag-uusapan din ng Pasko, medyo relax tayo. Di ba? Relax naman dyan At pinag-uusapan ng relax, si EJ Obiena, mga kapatid, ay relax na relax. Nasa bansa siya para magbakasyon, para to get away. Magkaroon ng konting panahon para sa kanyang sarili bago tuluyan ng tumutok sa kanyang training. At sorpresa para sa ating lahat, si EJ Obiena po ay pupunta mismo dito sa ating studio. Ang kauna-unahan natin pong first face-to-face in-studio live interview. And mamaya po, bibigyan namin ng pagkakataon kayo na magtanong mismo sa ating track and field sensation na si EJ Obiena. So napakarami napakarami po nating pag-uusapan at tututukan ngayong Sabado ng umaga, kaya dyan lang po kayo. Simulan na natin sa pamamagitan ng ating mga balita sa sports sa ating Sports Weekly Highlights.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Una sa lahat, bubuksan natin ang ating Sports Weekly Highlights sa pamamagitan ng college sports. Bubuksan na po ngayong araw ang Season 85 ng UAAP. Buena mano ang men's basketball tournament sa season na may temang Rise as One. Maghaharap sa first game ang host school na Adamson University kontra University of Santo Tomas. Sa second game naman, ito yung bakbakang umatikabo. Defending champions UP Fighting Maroons kontra De La Salle University Green Archers. Kaya abangan nyo po yan dito po sa ating stasyon sa Signal TV. Sa Gilas update naman, bumaba ang world ranking ng Pilipinas sa huling update ng FIBA. Ranked 41 na sa mundo ang Pilipinas base sa September 20 to 22 update ng Basketball Federation. Mas mababa yan ng 8 spots mula sa nakaraang ranked 33 ng bansa. Mas mataas na ngayon ang Japan. Naku tumaas pa ang Japan sa Pilipinas na pang 38 na sa mundo. Nananatili naman sa number 1 ang Team USA. Sa boxing, hindi na raw lalabanan ni Floyd Mayweather Jr. si pambansang kamao Manny Pacquiao. Nilinaw yan ng unbeaten boxer sa pagbisita niya sa bansa para sa isang business trip. Kapapanalo lang ni Mayweather sa isang exhibition match sa Japan kung saan pinatumba niya si Japanese mixed martial arts fighter Mijuru Asakura. Si Pacman naman lalaban din sa isang exhibition bout sa South Korea sa Disyembre. Balita naman sa isa nating prized athlete. Plano raw tapusin ni pole vault world number 3 EJ Obiena ang kanyang college degree. Sinabi niya ni Obiena sa pagbisita niya sa kanyang alma mater na UST. Tumigil sa pag-aaral noong 2018 si Obiena para tutukan ang professional career sa pole vault. Ayon kay Obiena, target pa rin niyang makuha ang diploma para sa electronics engineering. Tama yan, EJ. At mamaya po, kagaya na nabanggit natin, live si EJ Obiena sa ating studio, kaya tutok lang po. At sa PBA, come from behind win ang inuwi ng NLEX kontra Blackwater para manatiling unbeaten sa PBA Commissioner's Cup. Bumangon mula 16-point deficit ang Road Warriors at nag-overtake sa bossing para sa 105-102 win. Sa isa pang laro, nakuha ng Northport ang overtime win kontra Meralco sa second serving ng Friday doubleheader sa score na 101-95. Of course, si Robert Bolick, 44 na puntos po kagabi. At yan po ang buhod ng ating mga balita sa Sports Weekly Highlights. Naku, marami pa po tayong mga iba pang tinututukan na mga balita. Of course, yung pong Chooks to Go ay magkakaroon po ng 3x3 Cebu Masters. Gaganapin po yan sa Cebu, doon po sa SMC side. Abangan nyo po yan. Ngayong araw pong ito, napakagagaling ng mga 3x3 teams all over the world ang muling nagpunta dyan po sa Chooks 3x3 Cebu Masters. Abangan nyo po yan sa Cebu. Tinututukan din po natin, of course, ang Shaky Super League kung saan may laban ng UST kontra SSC, UE against UP, Perpetual Help, at ang Ateneo kontra Arellano. Mamaya po ay ating maaring daanan niya. Kaya ang dami pong mga nangyayari na uli sa mundo ng sports, kaya nakakatuwa. Pero syempre, sa ating pong pulso ng bayan, ang ating pong pag-uusapan ay ang tungkol po sa nangyayaring PBA. Kagabi nga, pumutok na naman si Robert Bolick ng 44 na puntos. Pero yung mga import nila, si Earl Clark ng NLEX, pambihira ang ipinakita din. 38 points mula sa kanilang import na si Earl Clark. Nung isang araw, napanood natin yung import ng Magnolia, yung pong Serbian. Ang haba ng pangalan, no? Hindi ko ma-pronounce, Ang ganda din ng laro, 45 yata ang puntos at saka parang 20 plus rebounds, no? Yung pong import ng Magnolia. So, ang ating pong pupulsuhan ngayong araw pong ito. Ito naman ay konting saya galing lamang sa ating mga kaibigan sa Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Ang ating pong pupulsuhan sa ating pulso ng bayan ay sino ang pinaka-impressive na PBA Commissioner's Cup imports para sa inyo so far. Ulitin ko po yan. Sino ang pinaka-impressive na PBA Commissioner's Cup import so far sa ating laro? Magpadala po ng inyong mga kuro-kuro, ang inyong pong mga komentaryo sa aming Facebook page ng Power and Play, sa aking Twitter account at Noli Iyala, and of course sa Facebook ng 1PH at ng Radyo 5, o di kaya mag-text sa aming 0908-208-0629 na hotline. Mamaya po ay aming babasahin yan at the end of the show, and of course ito po ay hatid sa inyo ng Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Alright, bago tayo magpatuloy, again, paalala lang po, tuloy-tuloy ang ating Joyride promo dito po sa Power and Play. Simple-simple lang po para manalo ng 1,000 na e-wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. I-download lang po yung latest version ng Joyride Super App. Tapos, kuhanan nyo po ng screenshot, yung app's home screen, kasama ng account name. And then, ito po ipadala ninyo sa ating Power and Play FB page via private message. Isama nyo po ang inyong pangalan at ang inyong registered mobile number sa inyong Joyride account. At mamaya po, pipili kami ng 5 mananalo ng 1,000 pesos JR Pay Wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Ito po ang Joyride Super App top-up promo on Power and Play. Maraming salamat sa mga taga-Joyride. And of course, ready na tayo. Ito na. Simulan na natin, mga kapatid, ang ating mga talakayan. Siyempre sa ating paboritong pagpapasimula, buena mano, ang Fast Take.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
At ang Fast Take ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. It's fun to drive. At ngayong araw pong ito, maswerte tayo na muling makakasama natin, mga kaibigan natin, mga nagbabalik Fast Take. Walang iba kung hindi si Ray Hoble ng Daily Tribune. And of course, ang aking kaibigan all the way from Chicago, si Homer Saison ng Spin.ph. Magandang umaga, Ray. Good evening, Homer. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Chairman. Morning.
Good morning, Homer. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Chairman. And it's nice to be back here.
Nakakatuwa at makasama kayong uli. Alam mo, Alam ko na busy kayo. Homer, I know you had to make changes in your schedule, pero ako'y natutuwa. Unahin ko muna ikaw, Ray, no? Very, very quickly lang. Alam naman natin, ito yung tinatanong namin sa Commissioner's Cup, no? Ikaw, sino sa tingin mo pinaka-impressive na import so far?
I would say si Nicolas Rakoshevich, no, yung import ng Magnolia, no. Ako only 24 years old itong player na ito, no. And alam naman natin second pa lang siya, second stint niya pa lang bilang isang professional player. And we see a lot of upside dito sa player na to, and bagay na bagay siya dito sa sistema ng Magnolia kasi hindi lang siya purely scoring eh. Makikita mo talaga hustling down the court, 'di ba? Going for the loose balls. Tapos yung deflections, 'di ba? Yung grabbing rebounds. So overall, ang ganda ng pinapakita na itong batang 'to.
Sabi nga ni Coach Chito, para daw may pangalawang Calvin Abueva siya. Another beast. Siguro dapat yan, the white beast. No?
The white beast. Kasi, at saka very unusual din to nangyayari sa PBA. Parang dalawang white imports ang naglalaro now dito sa
maganda
birang mangyari yan.
Well, alam mo, wag na natin talaga naman marami na magagaling na European players, and it's good na makakakita tayo ng bagong flavor sa PBA, no.
Naaalala ko tuloy yung yung time mo during commissioner sa PBA, 'di ba? Remember, 'di ba, nandiyan si David Wood at saka sa Hinebra naman, 'di ba, na isa na nakalimutan ko yung pangalan ng isa, no?
Right.
Si David Wood, yung isa sa Pure Foods.
Homer, let me ask you naman, sabi nga ni Ray, yung daw si Rakoyevich ang napakagaling, no? But I will ask you, Robert Bolick has been on fire. 44 points kahapon. The other time he shot 38, if I'm not mistaken, or 37 laban sa Bay Area Dragons. Parang important laro eh. Do you think Robert Bolick is a shoo-in sa Gilas, Homer?
Yes, as we can see in the previous tents and the previous windows, Commissioner, we need a shooter to space that floor when we have Kai and Dwight Ramos penetrating. So we need, he's a shoo-in, Commissioner. And then the key to Robert Bolick is the freedom. Binibigyan siya ng freedom ni Coach Pido to shoot as many threes as he'd like. May green light talaga si Bolick, and so far he's been converting. But word of caution though, on average, he's not really a terrific three-point shooter, pero so far he's making his shots and good for Northport.
That's true. Alam mo, talagang naghahanap tayo ng mga shooters para sa Gilas Pilipinas, and right now with the windows coming up again in November, sana kahit papano alam natin tatatlo lamang yung teams na pagpipilian, no? So Robert Bolick is not part of that particular group. Homer, do you think that is limiting it a bit? Medyo, kasi kung titigil ka rin naman, bakit hindi mo napagbigyan lahat para makapaglaro? Homer? Mukhang audio mo. Nakamute ka ba? Nakamute ka? Homer, you're in mute yata. Mukhang wala tayong narinig. Ha? Low bat na? Low bat. Yun. Ano ba yun?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yun. Did you get my question? Sabi ko lang hindi ba dapat mas malawak pa yung pool para sa Gilas Windows? Hindi lamang yung tatlong team?
Yeah, I know, but I think Coach Chatres basically has his idea of sino yung niya, Commissioner. And sometimes when you focus on a smaller number and you know what you want, I think that's also a better option. But for now, as I have mentioned, the way Robert Bolick has been shooting the ball, he is a shoo-in for that spot. All
right. Well, a lot to look forward to with the way things are going in the Commissioner's Cup. Although I'm a little bit sad na hindi pa dumadating ang tao. I hope na tumaas ang kanilang attendance, and I'm sure that the PBA board and Commissioner Willie is doing whatever they can para lalo pang maging kaaya-aya para sa ating mga fans. Alright, let's go to our fast take issues of the morning, gentlemen. Alam na ninyo ang take dito. Walang mali, walang tama. Of course, bato-bato sa langit, tamaan. Huwag magagalit, walang pikon. So, let's begin with our first issue of the morning. Hindi naman to issue, pero parang prediction lang ninyo. ngayong araw magsisimula ang UAAP Season 85 and what a blockbuster opening with the defending champions kontra De La Salle. Ang tanong, ano ang prediction nyo sa UAAP matchup ngayong opening weekend? You have 1 minute. I'll begin with you, Ray. 1 minute, go.
Well, I'll go for University of the Philippines. So, sa una-una kasi nakita naman natin yung pinanggalingan nila no last time that they won the championship no. Although maganda rin itong itong La Salle dahil kakagaling lang nila sa championship sa PBA D-League and it's a good experience for them. Considering the fact na maganda rin yung pinapakita ro ng isang player nila na inilaw nila for Gilas Pilipinas, no? And then we have Adamson versus UST. Ako sa tingin ko rito, UST yung favored to win dito with the key additions including yung anak ni Kenneth Durendes, no, si Kenji Durendes.
Wow. Very, very good. Well, alam natin na maraming factors dyan playing into the games today. Homer, same issue. Ano sa tingin mo ang mangyayari sa UAAP matchup ngayong opening weekend? 1 minute, Homer. Go!
Yeah, I like UST too. I mean, this is a franchise that had been trying to get up from the debris left behind by Aldenayo, but they're slowly rebuilding, and I think a good piece of that is Durendes. But I like the second matchup, Commissioner. This is what you call a battle royale. University of the Philippines. 3 things going with them. Championship momentum. They have their core back. Carl Tamayo, a very nimble 6'7", 190-pound big. He's really, really good, Commissioner, as what we have seen with him at Gilas and even in the preseason games with UP. Napakagaling. And then, of course, you cannot discount La Salle because you have Phillips, obviously a mythical team last year.
Yeah.
And then you also have Coach Derek Pumarin. But at the end of the day, I like the UP Maroons. And yun na nga, they're lalo na si Coach Monteverde, Commissioner, very underrated. People tend to dismiss him last season as only a high school coach. But in the crucible of that championship series, when many times nag-trail ang University of the Philippines, his temper, his even-keeled temper, carried the day for the University of the Philippines. So I take UP today, Commissioner, and UST over Adamson.
All right. Well, I cannot go against, of course, the trend. UP is the defending champion. But for purposes of this particular day, ako pipiliin ko una Adamson. Unang-una because they are a host.
Oh.
I think Adamson is a good player in Jerome Lastimosa. I think in this, alam mo, ang sabi sa akin he had an offer to play abroad. Tinurn down niya yung offer sa kanya for a very, very good amount of money. So I'm sure he will play very well for the Adamson Soaring Falcons. Of course, tingnan natin. Medyo nagkaroon tayo ng konting problema dito sa ating technical. Santi, can we fix our monitor, please?
Yes, Commissioner.
Can you hear me, Homer, at saka Ray?
Yes.
Okay. And of course, the
100%
final thing I wanted to say is, I think La Salle has a terrific player. I think Kevin Kiambao is the surprise of the season. At sa tingin ko, itong player na to ay magiging malaking bagay para sa La Salle because he not only can score, he can rebound, he can pass. And this kid is something to look forward to para sa Green Archers. But of course, UP is UP. At hindi natin matatawaran ang galing ng defending champions. Alright, let's go to our second issue of the morning. Can you hear me, gentlemen? Mukhang, yan.
Yes,
bumalik na ang ating.
yes,
medyo nagka-problema tayo ng ano. Alright, pangalawang issue natin. Ito, medyo controversial ito. Si Coach Yeng Gao has been talking as of late tungkol sa mga iba't ibang problema ng PBA. So, ang tanong, yung mga sinasabi niyang mga loopholes sa PBA rules, sabi nga niya, kung hindi rin naman natin may papatupad ito ng fairly, tanggalin na lang natin yung mga rules na yon. So ang tanong, anong loopholes sa PBA rules ang sinasabi ni Coach Yeng Giao na sa tingin ninyo ay dapat masolusyonan para maging patas sa liga? I will begin with you, Homer. 1 minute. Go!
The number one loophole, I think, Commissioner, is how the teams, especially the rich teams, are able to circumvent the salary cap. At paano nila ginagawa yon is the under-the-table deals where they're given either side businesses or bonuses na that exceeds what is allowable in the PBA. Now, if the commissioner's office would put a hold on that one, put a stop on that, then there would be an even field. In 1994, Commissioner Michael Jordan became a free agent and he demanded $36 million to return to the Chicago Bulls. The New York Knicks were over the salary cap. They could not pay Jordan $36 million, but they offered him $20 million, Commissioner, plus another $30 million to become an endorser of a side company of the New York Knicks. And the NBA said, nope, you can't do that. The PBA should have the same political muster, the wherewithal to say, hey, bawal to, walang mga under-the-table deal. And I think that's the best way to stop it. And also, Commissioner, another loophole is the trade. The trade committee is a useless participant in all this assessment. You have to have an independent body. The trade committee works for the PBA. So how can you have a fair trade, di ba? So those are the two loopholes, Commissioner, that needs to be addressed.
All right. Well, you know, I want to expand a little bit on that a little later. But Ray, same issue. Sabi nga niya, ang dami daw loophole sa PBA rules. Ano ba ang sinasabing mga loophole sa tingin mo na dapat ay masolusyonan para maging patas ang liga? 1 minute, Ray.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah. Chairman, I have to revert to the old ways of the PBA. No? Before, dati meron silang tinatawag na handicapping system. No? They've been doing that. Ito yung time na dati, yung mga teams that are inferior, binibigyan sila ng mas malalaking import para to match up against dito sa bigger teams, sa more superior teams. Remember, there was a time na naglalaro nga ng All Filipino ay yung Mariwa sa Honda. Sila yung may import di ba? Si Billy Robinson. And that was the only time they were able to compete dito sa championship series against Crispa. Tapos meron din ako dito, Commissioner, about dito sa free agency. Ang sabi ko nga dyan, dapat kung magkakaroon man ng open market sa free agent, kinakailangan ang bigyan ng first crack dito yung mga inferior teams so that they can compete with bigger teams.
Well, very good points, Ray. Alam natin yung handicapping system has been done, was done, and kahit papaano ay nakaangat at pinahabol ang mga teams. But you know, ako again, I would go with the suggestion of Homer. I think it's really sports governance. Alam niyo, when you look at the league, lahat naman ng team gusto manalo Wala, of course, may mga nagsasabi na yung ibang team tinatapon ng kanilang mga picks at hindi nagpapakita na gusto nilang manalo. But, you know, in theory, you're spending a lot of money, dapat gusto mong manalo. But, ang nangyayari, hindi nagiging balanse. Tama si Coach Yeng, I think there is a time, it is about time na i-enforce natin ang rules. Tingnan lang natin yung NBA, Kaya ng NBA na humarap sa mga team owner. Look at what happened to Robert Sarver. Look what happened to Ime Udoka. These are examples of issues outside of the game na hinarap ng NBA at hindi sila natatakot. Even Donald Sterling had that particular problem at hinarap yan ng NBA. Hindi sila natatakot sa team owner. I think it is time that sports governance ng PBA is strengthened para magkaroon talaga ng patas. Alam niyo po, nung PBA nung araw, meron pa silang tinatawag na no fraternizing. Bawal po nagsasama ang mga teams ng isang conglomerate. Kahit po sa labas, kahit isang practice court, kahit po magkumain lang, hindi pwedeng magsama. Meron pang rule. Hindi po, lahat po ng ibinibigay ng teams dapat deklarado. Wala pong excuse yun. Kahit advertisement, endorsement, kasama po yan sa bilang sa salary cap. And I do not know, I do not understand kung bakit ngayon, hindi na ganun ang usapan because we can see that happening at mahirap po siguro na hindi yan ipatupad dahil talagang may perception na hindi balanse ang pagtrato ng PBA sa mga koponan. Alright, let's go to our third and final issue before I continue to break this down. The third and final issue is tungkol kay Manny Pacquiao. Si Manny Pacquiao ay lalaro sa December sa isang exhibition match sa Korea sa isang boksingero, sa isang kalaban na YouTube daw ang kalaban, So, YouTube sensation. So, ang tingin nyo ba, kaya pa na magbalik sa boxing ni Manny Pacquiao sa kabila ng kanyang edad? I'll begin with you, Ray. 1 minute. Go!
Kaya naman, Chairman. But the thing is, I don't think Manny Pacquiao had to tarnish his reputation, being one of the greatest boxers of all time, And he has nothing to prove, So, ako para sa akin, no, kung maglalaro siya ng para sa exhibition and for the money, maiintindihan natin yan kung bakit nila ginagawa yan, no? So, a lot of boxing legends are doing it. Pero if you're going to ask me about competitive boxing naman, I don't think it is it is the right thing to do for the people's champion.
All right. Well, point well taken, Ray. Again, Manny Pacquiao has nothing to prove, not only in the country but in the entire boxing world. And obviously, that's something to think about. Mukhang nawala si Homer, no? Baka nag-lobat. Oh, there. Andun pa pala. Alright, Homer. Hindi ka lang ikaw makita. Ang tanong, same issue. Sa tingin, parang hindi kita makita, Homer. Alright.
I'm here.
Oh, nandiyan siya. O, sige, kahit audio lang. Alam mo, iba na yung ano eh. Kaya pa mambalik ni Manny Pacquiao sa boxing sa kanyang edad? Homer, 1 minute. Go.
Yes, Commissioner. The same questions are being asked by Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman while they're still there. And the answer is because that's what they do. And Manny Pacquiao, yes, he might tarnish his legacy, but he has earned the right to fight when he chooses to, if he wants to. But in terms of the competitiveness, it's a young man's game, Commissioner. But Manny Pacquiao at age 43, the reflexes are not there, the legs are slower, but the power is still there. Fighting against top 10 contenders, 6 to 10, kaya pa. But top 5 contenders, Commissioner, I don't see Manny. Full disclosure, very good friend of mine. I always go to his fight. I go to his private workout. I facilitate swapping of jerseys and gloves to NBA players with him. But fighting a top 5 contender around this time, mahirap, Commissioner. But an exhibition against a YouTuber, and if you can make money, then why not? It's a free enterprise, Commissioner. Pero yun lang nga, if you're gonna fight the Errol Spence of the world, the Crawford of the world, no chance, Commissioner, that Manny will win.
Oo nga. At ako, alam mo, ang worry ko lang naman, Homer and Ray, is his health. Alam mo, mahirap na, alam mo naman sa boxing, may chamba. Meron tinatawag na lucky punch. And you know, if you get hit with that, nakakatakot, especially for a legend, a national icon katulad ni Senador Manny Pacquiao. Gentlemen, again, it's great to have you on the show. I know there's a lot of things that we can discuss, but we will discuss again one of these days. Maraming salamat sa oras na panahon na binigay niyo sa amin this morning.
Thank you, Chairman.
Salamat po. Salamat po, sir. Salamat. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Homer. Mga kaibigan ng ating mga batikang journalists at of course mga kaibigan natin. Ray Hoble, Homer Saison sa Fast Take. Naku talaga pong marami pa kami pwedeng pag-usapan pero medyo marami tayo rin tatalakayin ngayong umagang ito. Kaya po abangan nyo ang ating pagtalakay dun pa sa mga ibang issue ngayong umagang ito. Alright, bago tayo mag-break, isa muna pong paalala mula sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Gigalife App is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Gigalife app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live Smart! Kami po ay magbe-break sa amin pong pagbabalik. Ang makakasama natin, the number 3 ranked pole vaulter in the world, ang ating pong track and field sensation, EJ Obiena, in the house, live. Ito po ang Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin, 8:34 ng umaga.
I dare to dream big, to be a voice of my generation, to inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours with Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Prepare your heart for an all-out clash. Catch the Premier Volleyball League Invitational Conference. Games every Tuesdays, 2:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Thursdays and Saturdays, 2:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on One Sports.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Sali na sa masayang bardagulan ng mga Kalye Queens. Tuwing Sabado, 8:30 p.m. sa TV5 at Linggo, 8 p.m. sa Sari Sari Channel.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
The biggest college sports league is set to rise. Witness the intense and thrilling UAAP basketball action.
With the floater, shot, but underneath. And another.
Experience the impressive and adrenaline-filled rallies on UAAP volleyball.
It's also good for the defense.
Let's find out who will reign supreme. Catch the UAAP Season 85. Starts October 1 on One Sports and UAAP Varsity Channel.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Power and Play. Game na sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM. Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Alright mga kaibigan, nagbabalik po ang Power and Play at at this point gusto ko lang pong magpasalamat sa lahat po ng ating mga tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Unahin ko na po, of course, ang ating pong kaibigan si Mr. Elmer Ngo ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon mga kapatid, sobrang init tapos biglang uulan. Kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum tsak na pangmatagalan at isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum.
Thank you!
Cherry Tigo 8 Pro, how neat it is to have a 7-seater SUV that has a powerful engine, world-class safety standards, and the latest tech features. Bet you didn't know that the all-new Cherry Tigo 8 Pro has all these features and more at a very affordable price range. Cherry Tigo 8 Pro is equipped with a 1.6 turbocharged gasoline direct injection engine, an advanced driver assistance system, and 12 other safety features including forward collision warning, door opening warning, and autonomous emergency braking. The flagship Tigo 8 Pro allows you more control of the wheel. What's great is you can also join the green revolution with Cherry Tigo 8 Pro plug-in hybrid electric vehicle or PHEV. So enjoy your Cherry Tigo. Book a test drive now via www.cherryauto.ph or visit a Cherry dealership near you.
Thank you!
Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Subukan ang pinakabagong oven-roasted chicken na mas pinasarap dahil sa nag-uumapaw na flavorful chicken juice. Of course, subukan din niyo po ang Chooks, yung first dine-in restaurant ng Chooks to go sa Lipa, Batangas. Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan.
Thank you!
Joyride, or rather True Religion, is in the Philippines, where passion meets power. Experience it firsthand. For your best style choices, visit True Religion at Conrad S. Maison, Mall of Asia Complex, Resorts World Manila, at sa Hacienda Designer Outlet in Silang, Cavite. True Religion, where passion meets power.
Thank you!
Joyride Super App, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Magpadala with confidence kahit para sa negosyo o personal bulk deliveries man yan. Kayang-kaya yan i-deliver securely with Joyride. And of course, subukan nyo po ang pinakabagong offering ng Joyride, ang Joyride Car. Kasama na rin po ang aming patuloy na serbisyo sa motorcycle taxi ng Joyride Super App. So download the latest Joyride Super App now.
Thank you!
Elms Seafood Paluto, the latest offering of the Elms Resto Bar Group, located at Unit 2, Ground Floor, Calle Bistro, Ever Commonwealth, Quezon City. Enjoy their delectable seafood menu in a relaxed casual dining atmosphere for your salo-salo seafood meal. Elms Seafood Paluto. Subukan din nyo, of course, ang Carlitos Sisig Seafood Paluto along Shaw Boulevard. Skin, your face and body anti-aging center. With branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hill, San Juan. For your skin assessment and treatment schedule, call 0917-890-1640 and 0977-809-8886. ASEA Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings and rejuvenating experiences and gastronomic adventures. ASEA Subic Beach Resort sa Subic Bay. Maraming pong salamat sa lahat ng ating mga kapatid, mga kasama na nagsusumusuporta po sa Power and Play. Again, I'd also like to thank yung po mga nakasama natin kahapon sa New Clark City Sports Complex. Lalong-lalo na po si President Eileen Soza ng BCDA. Thank you so much for accommodating us yesterday in a beautiful facility at the NCC Sports Complex. World class indeed. Talagang dapat ay ating pong puntahan, tangkilikin at gamitin yung mga pasilidad na yan para sa ating mga atleta. I'd also like to greet the NCAA South for their closing, awarding ceremonies and turnover ceremonies yesterday. Binabati ko si yung po mga tiga De La Salle Lipa, of course, si J-Rex Atienza, at ang mga papasok pong host, ang University of Batangas, lalong-lalo na ang aking pong dating profesor, si Secretary Nani Perez. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat dyan sa Lipa and of course Batangas City.
Good morning!
Alright mga kaibigan, we are all set. Andito na po ang ating bisita. First interview ko na live in studio and of course face to face. And who else but the world number 3 Paul Volter, and of course our pride in Philippine track and field, no other than EJ Obiena. Magandang umaga, EJ. Thank you for joining us today. Lapit mo yung mic na konti, EJ. Yan.
Hi, good morning po.
Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
Una, alam ko you are here, EJ, for a break. How has your vacation been so far?
Exhausting.
parang di nagbabakasyon?
Di naman po, pero it's been fun, really. Masaya naman po. Marami ko pong na-meet old friends, and after this, I'm meeting some of my classmates po.
Saan ka na nagpupunta? Where have you been?
Well, in your office with Mr. Capistrano and with Mayor Bambol. I've met all the sports governing bodies, and I was in the Senate for once, and then I believe I will be in Manila on Monday, City Hall, and I was in my alma mater in UST in Chiang Kai-shek College.
Hindi trabaho yan EJ. Yung bakasyon mo mismo with Caroline.
So I was in El Nido. I was in Palawan.
Wow!
For a good few days.
Talaga? Doon nakapagpahinga ka talaga? You were able to rest?
Yes po. Medyo po.
That's good. Was that your first time in El Nido?
Yes, first time.
How did you find the place?
Beautiful. Grabe, iba po talaga. Like the water is crystal clear and just amazing.
How did Caroline enjoy El Nido?
I think she enjoyed it. She's very shocked with the food and everything. So she's
shocked in what way?
Like I think too much flavor for her.
Okay.
It's definitely different po sa kanya. So pero I think she enjoyed naman po. So masaya naman po siya dun sa vacation, and now she's back home.
She's back in Germany.
Yes po.
Oh, she has to train
True.
Ikaw malapit ka na rin. But
yeah.
In that sense, yung mga pinuntahan, have you been to other places aside from El Nido? At least in your free time, in your me time?
Really? I've been running around. Meeting some people, good friends of mine.
That's good. Just recharging, huh?
Yeah.
Talking about Caroline, before I leave, Caroline, she already left. How has Caroline helped you, EJ?
I mean, she's been always as a ear that listen for me, and always gives me sound support and smacks me from time to time if I need to. I think our dynamic is very good because she understands the life of being an athlete, and I'm very, very lucky to have her in. That she's been very understanding from a lot of time because this as an athlete you don't really have a lot of time in your hand, and having a relationship it takes time, and she understands that, and which is very, very. It's like a breath of fresh air for once.
Alam mo, pagka daw dinadala ang friend, ang special friend sa mga magulang, meron ng kasunod na tumutunog na kampana yon. Wala pa tayo naririnig ng wedding bells dyan?
Wala pa po.
Wala naman plano, ha?
Wala pa po.
Hindi naman naririnig, hindi naman naintindihan ni Carol to dahil Carol
actually
Pilipino to. So, wala naman, ha?
Wala naman po. Wala pa po. Matagal-tagal pa po.
Matagal-tagal pa. Okay. Oy, mga kaibigan, ha? Siya nga pala. Kung gusto niyo pong magtanong kay EJ mamaya, ibubukas po namin ang aming mga linya for the fans to interact with EJ today. Ito po ang aming mga Radyo 5 hotline. Nakikita nyo na po yan. 8631-7823, 8632-9094, 8632-7332. Yan po yung mga numbers natin. Mamaya, we will allow you to ask your questions directly to EJ. Kasi naririnig nyo lang si EJ sa ating show, sa mga pahayagan. Now is your time to interact with EJ. It's a rare opportunity that no one will be able to get. So, kayo pong mga fans ni EJ and of course, Philippine Sports, yan po ang ating mga number mamaya. EJ, let me ask you, you said that you wanted to recharge, you wanted to have your time, for yourself here. Have you accomplished that? Have you been able to actually get that chance to recharge and say, okay, I'm ready?
Medyo po. I didn't expect the welcome that I received, and definitely something new for me po. Medyo, from time to time I get really, like fidgety kasi this is all new to me. And but I've had good times with friends and family, which is what I really wanted naman po.
You realize now how big you are in the Philippines. Is that finally dawning on you?
In a bit. It's kind of scary actually.
Bakit?
I mean, it carries a lot of responsibility the way I present myself outside and the things that I do, and of course, sometimes it's medyo weird po yung you walk around the mall and people are staring at you. And yeah, there was actually one instance I was driving quite late at night, and then there was a motorbike that passed on my side and like really stared at me like seriously.
Si EJ pa to?
Opo, then he started to draw something. I was like, I got really scared. I was like, what's this? But it's just a phone. It's just taking photos. But yeah, you know, it is interesting.
And how do you face that responsibility? I mean, knowing that, no, you're EJ Obiena now, you know, and the Philippines is hoping, you know, for that one magical moment in Paris. How is that beginning to dawn on you and to, you know, make you understand your responsibility as an athlete?
I think I'll just keep doing what I do. I think as I said, I've been very candid, and I think I would want to be staying as who I am. I think that's the easiest way to handle this. So you know, it doesn't kind of box me into some place that I don't want to be. And when it comes to my sport, naman po, it's the same thing as well. You know, what brought me here is my dedication, my grit, and the way I approach the game.
Yeah.
I'll just stay doing the same, and I would not want to change a lot of this. And that's my plan, at least going to Paris.
You know, aside from, of course, competing, being a national athlete and the prominence that you have carries with it yung sabi mo nga responsibility even outside of the track, no? And lately you've been talking about this, you know, even your plans to perhaps open more doors for Filipino athletes. Tell us a little bit about this, EJ.
First, as I said, I would want to have my fellow teammates in the national team to be able to experience what I experienced in Europe. Right now, you know, I'm based in a training camp in an Olympic training center. I've seen the effects of this, even just, you know, just the basic psyche of being able to train with one of the best in the best. So I would want that to be possible for my fellow teammates. Number two, I would want to, you know, try to inspire more kids. So actually, this is first I'll announce it as well. I'm giving away some shoes.
Wow!
And a weekly relay in Patafa soon, because you know there are still kids that run barefoot. You know, I would want them to have at least the first pair of shoe that hopefully would inspire them to, you know, to keep going and really pursue the sport and be passionate about it. And I would really want to be able to do a clinic, hopefully in my country this time. Yun po. There's a few more. Want to bring out the sport, as I've talked to you as well. Would want to have that street competition.
Yes.
Somewhere in Philippines. You know, these simple things to just really promote the sport, and I think it's a very good way to represent, you know, the country in some shape or form.
I want to talk about that yung tournament or the competition that you want to bring in, but you know, ito lahat ng binabanggit mo, EJ. Do you feel that this is now part of your calling? This is beyond, you know, even competing, beyond even training, and beyond the Olympics. Do you feel that this is something that you will now be doing, and this is now an advocacy? This is now a bigger role that you play in Philippine sports?
I'm not. I don't know. I'm doing this because I want to share the experience that I have had, and gusto po sana maranasan rin po ng ibang Pilipino. Then I know how the sport have changed my life, and I would want to at least open that door for, you know, my fellow countrymen and to my teammates as well. I don't know if this is going to be one of my advocates. I think I'm quite busy as an athlete and a level that I need to be. But I have a team of very noble persons, and they would want to keep doing this, you know, on my behalf as well.
All right. You talked about yung plano ninyo to stage a competition here with you know, you and some other top-ranked pole vaulters, including Mondo Duplantis, no, if possible. How was this idea hatched, EJ?
But isn't it fun to see pole vaulters jumping outside of the track?
Yes.
And I'm just like, I would want the Filipino people to see that, and, you know, really, you know, gauge and see it in real life. How high is 6 meters? How high is 550?
Hindi natin I mean, we cannot really see how difficult it is until we actually visually see what you're doing.
True. And I think it would put Philippines in the landmark of world athletics. And that's one thing that I would want to do. And I think that's one of the small ways that I can impact the sports.
And do you think this is most likely going to happen? I mean, it's realistic to have a timetable before Paris next year.
Yeah, I believe so. If timing wise, I think it's very possible. There's just logistic wise and the side of things like funding and everything. But I believe it's very very doable. Would you say?
Yeah, I think it is. But ang tanong dun is, does this come with points in your circuit? Can that be accredited by the International Federation? Is this something that will kumbaga entice the top pole vaulters to come to the Philippines?
I think one of the things that entice them to come to Philippines is our nature. Like we have very vast, beautiful natural resources they would want to go to. So that's why my strategy is to put it at the end of the season, so they can come here, enjoy Philippines. And when it comes to points and being official meet, I talked to Sir Terry. It needs to be sanctioned, and he's very positive about it.
Okay.
And then I've already talked to the World Federation as well, and they said, "Yeah, we'll support you in this venture, and hopefully we'll get it done."
Nako, talagang matutuwa ang tao. I read somewhere that Mayor Bambol Tolentino of Tagaytay has already offered Tagaytay as one of the venues. But can you imagine this being done, let's say in Fifth Avenue on BGC, where all of the people on the buildings and people lining up that track where you're going to go down that rail. And of course, yung alam mo naman ikaw, ako alam kita, nakikita ko sa video, you're asking people to chant. Is that something that you feel can happen? And obviously, what is the impact of that if ever that happens?
I'm having goosebumps while you're explaining. I'm visualizing it. It's.
I mean, I'm sure Senator Cayetano sa Taguig will be very happy to have this. I think down Ayala Avenue or even on Ortigas or even on everywhere, they will want to have this particular event.
I mean, it will be amazing. I think just to bring the sport out of the track, it's gonna be big, and I think it's very entertaining as well. You don't see people fling themselves over a bar like 20 feet, up in the air. Hopefully it just happens. I really would want. I mean, it doesn't just need to be one leg, right? It can be 2 or 3.
Yes.
If we're already here, why not?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And of course, if you have Mondo Duplantis coming over, Thiago Bras and Chris Nielsen and everyone else, the top pole vaulters in the world, I'm sure there will be many people that will sponsor or at least support this event. And ang ating nakikita dito, pag habang bumababa si Mondo Duplantis, mga kapatid, siguro merong pumapalakpak, meron ding wag para manalo si EJ. Diba? I mean, that's of course again a lot just out of jest, but it should be a lot of fun, and I'm sure that event will serve a lot of purposes.
At least for once, right, to have a home court advantage.
Finally, may home court ka. All right, your season this year was amazing. 17 medals, if I'm not mistaken, and you had 12 gold medals.
I don't really count it.
About 6 of the last 8 were gold medals. You had 2 silvers and 3 bronzes, and of course you had golds in Orlen Cup, in the Orlen Copernicus, the new record that you set initially in the indoor in France. Of course, your Southeast Asian Games gold medal in Hanoi, and many other achievements, including your beating Mondo Duplantis. But what has been the most memorable for you in this particular season?
It's hard to top one, but I think I have 2. One is the World Championship. That's the first medal for the country, and it's a very distinctive bounce back, I would say, in the world class stage. In Tokyo, I felt like I wasn't able to do what I want to. At least here, I gave a shade of what I actually can do in the world stage with the world's best and really compete with them, where it's a world championship. And of course, Brussels, it's my first Diamond League win, and I think it's as big of a win as World Championship, very competitive level, and it makes it a bit sweeter that Mondo was defeated for once in the year, but it's more fun because I got my first win. It's something that I think a lot of the best in the world would be proud to say I've won a Diamond League leg. So
I think, just getting there and competing week in, week out against the best pole vaulters in the world is just amazing. I think that's, for me, if I were in your place, that is just an unbelievable dream come true for any athlete.
It's it doesn't get better than that.
Oh, that's true. Now, you're tracking obviously very well going into Paris. First of all, do you like how things are shaping up and how your career, your skills, and of course your conditioning is tracking for Paris 2024?
I would have wanted to do a little bit better this year, and I think initially our plan back in at least after Tokyo was a bit more. It's a bit higher, like the heights. It's not a secret anymore. I want to jump 6 meters, and I do believe I can. It's just I think I had a lot of difficulties starting up the season, and it wasn't as simple as it is to get through it. And yeah, I'm hoping that I can catch up on those preparations, and be as solid as I can be going to Paris.
Is there anything when you sleep at night and you begin to have thoughts about Paris or the World Championship, anything that is really some of your goals? Is there anything that keeps you awake, that daunts you?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I fear. It's as life of an athlete, there's a lot of things that you don't want to happen. But I just keep faith, and I just try to focus on the things that I actually do, and not really overthink on those big stages. It is just another competition. I've seen this guy compete with them almost twice or thrice a week. So what's new? It's just a bigger stage.
One of the things that you have clearly been able to get while training in Formea is the fact that you have a complete team. You have a terrific coach in Vitaly. You have everything that you need, and of course the competition is right there. Do you think that we can duplicate what you're doing in Formea here in the Philippines? Because not everyone can go there, obviously. Kaya ba nating gawin yung ginagawa ninyo doon dito sa ating bansa?
Yeah, I believe so. First, we have world-class facilities, like you said, BCDA, the one in New Clark.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's amazing. We just need, I think, certain more coaches we do have. Maybe the knowledge can be better, of course, but it's really just there needs to be a program that really utilizes our resources, at least knowing that we are in a third world country, and we do understand that, but it doesn't mean that it's not doable. So I think there's a lot of things that I've been talking to Mr. Capistrano, and I would just give my 2 cents. It's not me who's running the place, and I would want to just show what I've seen with my own eyes in different countries in Europe, and how they handle these things. And if it's doable, definitely 100%.
Very good. Well, everybody's, of course, hoping na kahit paano yung ginagawa mo can be duplicated with other athletes in track and other sports. And we're beginning to really see the formula of success of top-notch world-class athletes like you, Hidalin, Carlos Yulo, and Alex, and everyone else. That it's really a complete team that helps you. And of course, the competitions are very, very fierce. Mga kaibigan, again, bubuksan po namin ang mga linya. Meron na ba tayo? We can as we continue to talk with EJ Obiena, meron na po tayong call. Anong gatib? Okay. Again, palabas natin muna yung mga numbers ulit. Yung mga gusto pong magtanong kay EJ Obiena, again, 8631-7823, 8632-9094, 8632-7332. Yan po ang ating mga numero. Naka-flash po sa ating screen yan, 8631-7823. If you wanna ask any question, hindi lang po yung career ni EJ, pwedeng love life daw. Wag nyo lang tanungin kung meron daw siyang pera. Wag nyo daw kung tatanungin yun. EJ, let me ask you, when you talk about training, what is the biggest factor, if there is one, that we should do for our Filipino athletes?
I think discipline. I mean, A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm motivated," but motivation comes and go. That's what I've seen in the past 3 years, and I've been there in Italy. There are gonna be times that you want to train. There are gonna be times that you don't want to, but at the end of the day, you need to. So you need to have that discipline to step into the track and do your best. And I think that's one of the things that put me where I'm at. And I think that's one of the most, if not the most important thing out there.
Well, alam mo, when you talk about discipline, talagang sometimes it's born out of, I guess, difficulty, no? I mean, the challenges, you know, hindi pwedeng lahat masarap, no? You know, not many people understand what an athlete goes through. And in your case, you had a very successful season, but tell us about the challenges that went through that. Aside from, of course, the logistical challenges, what has been the biggest thing that you faced during this entire season?
Oh, I mean, in January, where all things were a bit of haywire here back at home, and I went through a knee surgery, so that was something that I think not a lot of people, well, maybe they know, but like kind of left. But at that time, I was really worried. I didn't know what's gonna happen. You know, having a knee surgery is always it's a big question mark on how are you gonna be after. Of course, the rehab was tough, and it was short though. It was very quick, and I think I was very lucky to have access to those medical care.
Right.
Yeah, but that's one of those things. Doubt. Like I was doubting
really
myself.
Health, no? Conditioning, yung health mo, no? That's
True, and I mean, and just not just in the health, you know, just having doubts going into the season. It was tough because first I missed a world championship this year. It's like in tennis, you miss a Grand Slam. It's like it was not even like, oh, I didn't qualify for it. I did qualify for it. I'm one of the best. I jumped the second highest or third highest
and
at that year,
and
I missed it. And it was definitely, you know, that kind of feeling and the trauma. And at least I would say I had trauma with that. Like going to major championship, qualifying is not enough.
Right.
And like that doubt in my head is there, and I would not want to have that yet again. And I think that's very difficult for me to focus and really dive in until I know, okay, I'm actually in. I'm going. You know, it's you know, as an athlete, we need that certain marks in our calendar that, okay, this is gonna be an important day for us.
Yeah.
And we literally revolve our world to
around that
day.
particular day.
So it's tough when that day suddenly diminish and
nawala.
It's just taken away.
Yeah. And for reasons that are not related to sports. I mean, to your training. All right. There's a question. Meron tayong caller from Pasig, si Mia Takuloy. Mia, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Mia. Taga saan ka ba? Taga Pasig ka? Saan sa Pasig, Mia?
Yes po.
Saan ka sa Pasig?
This is in Canyogan, Pasig.
Canyogan. All right. EJ Obiena is here. What's your question for EJ?
Yes, good morning, EJ.
Morning po.
I just have this question that is always on top of my mind. What are the qualities that Mondo has that make him #1 pole vaulter in the world?
I mean, physically, he's very fast. Like, I think this biggest asset is speed, which is mine as well. This kid was born with a pole vaulting place in his backyard. He was already vaulting at a very early age, and that's his pastime. But that is just his physical prowess. His mental game is really strong, and I think that's one of the things that I can improve on. And I've seen this guy be disgusted for missing a bar.
Wow.
It wasn't even missing a bar. He was so disgusted. He's a perfectionist, and that makes him really on the top of the game. And I can't wait to just, you know, he definitely lifts us, and I would want to keep competing with this guy. I have really deep respect and really salute to the team that he has.
All right. Thank you, Mia.
Yes, can I have a follow-up question?
Sure, Mia. Go ahead, please.
My next question would be, as we are all looking forward to Paris, because we want you to get the gold in Paris for the Philippines, of course. What qualities will you target, or what qualities should you have to make that happen? Thank you.
First, I need to be more consistent at the higher heights. I think I've been very consistent at 580, but 580 would win you maybe bronze, silver, but it would not win you gold, and that means I need to jump 6 meters consistently for the next 1.5 year. My plan to do that is a lot of different things, and my coach and I are very confident that we're going to be able to do it. And fingers crossed that our plan does work and everything do pan out.
Yeah.
I would definitely can only promise is I will do my best po. Gagawin ko po lahat ng makakaya para mauwi po natin yung medalya na ginto sa Paris.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mia. All right, we have another question from Malate naman, no? Pangalan niya si Richard Feliciano. Richard, good morning. Richard? Hindi pa yata nakapatch up. Richard? Oh, let me just follow up that thing about Mondo Duplantis very quickly. Have you ever run against him? Who's faster?
I think he's faster than
He's
me.
faster?
Yeah.
Talaga?
In the flat,
He's smaller than you, right? He's a little shorter than you.
A little bit.
But he's faster.
Yes.
So what is the best thing that you've learned from Mondo? Just one thing.
His mental game really is different. It's totally different. Being so motivated at that level that he is, it's out of this world. You know?
No? All right. Richard, nandiyan ka na ba?
Yeah.
All right. Richard Feliciano from Malate. Yes, here's EJ Obiena. Your question, please.
Yeah, how come I saw him in an interview at the Chiang Kai-shek College? Is he a Chinese or half Chinese maybe?
Oh, yeah. EJ.
Yeah. My mom actually is half Chinese, so I was born in Tondo, and I ride the jeep from our Papa station going to Abad Santos, and my school is actually Chiang Kai-shek College. With my mom.
So do you speak Chinese?
Tampo.
A little bit only. Because I think my tita is knows your mom. She's Janet, di ba? Tama?
Yes po.
Janet, she used to be with one of the association. Net san si Miss Janet, yung mama ni Juan? Patapa. She used to be in Patapa pala. So we just saw you in Chiang Kai-shek. That's why we're a bit,
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
Sige, good luck to you, ha?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. Maraming salamat. Talagang a lot of people supporting you all over, and obviously, that's another thing. You've been around your alma mater, UST, Chiang Kai-shek. How has that been? Ano ang biggest takeaway mo dyan, EJ?
UST was deafening. I think it was very, very loud. Chiang Kai-shek College definitely brings me back to my good old young and very naughty and makulit talaga days. So yeah, I met some of my teachers and those disciplinary officers that I used to see a lot of time. Yeah, it's good to reminisce. I think that's my word to describe those two visits. Po.
All right. Well, before we finish, there are other people that may be wanting to ask you, but we're running out of time. But let me ask you, EJ, your schedule for next year, does that include the Southeast Asian Games and the Asian Games already? For sure, you will be part of the delegation?
Yeah, for me, yes, definitely. It's my goal. Going forward, we have 3 more seasons before Paris. Indoor of 2023, outdoor 2023, then indoor 2024. And those 3, I need to learn how to be consistent in the higher heights and actually figure out how am I going to deal with Paris. And I think I have enough time, but not a lot.
All right. As a parting shot, sabi mo, you're coming over to get yourself ready for the next season. Are you ready?
A few more days, I should be.
That's good. Yes, go ahead.
I'm visiting the gymnastic facility because I need to start training. So I actually reached out to Miss Cynthia. I missed yesterday's event.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure Ma'am Cynthia Carion Norton will be very, very happy to have you in the GAP training facility. Well, EJ, I wish you all the best. I wish you all the luck. Thank you so much for coming over. And you know that I have your I am fully supportive of you. We've talked, and you know that we will continue to talk. We are trying, of course, to do everything. I talked with Terry Capistrano.
I heard.
And everything is going to be all set for you. And
thank you.
Until 2024, God be with you, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat. Mga kaibigan, ang ating pong pinagmamalaki na track and field sensation, the number 3 ranked pole vaulter in the world, EJ Obiena, sa Power and Play. Kami po ay magbe-break, and when we come back, we'll have... bago tayo mag-break, pasok muna yung ating Stop and Pop, ang ating mga viral moments sa mundo ng palakasan sa ating Stop and Pop.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Alright, napanood nyo na po siguro ito, none other than ang ating pong Mighty Mouse himself. Si Jimmy Alapag was just recently really trending dahil sa kanyang ginawa. Panoorin natin to On target pa rin, mga kaibigan. Ang matagal nang nagretiro, ngayon ay coach na doon po sa Sacramento. Si Jimmy Alapag taking his 3-point shots from the corner, almost perfect beyond the arc. Si Alapag sa kanyang video na in-upload ng Stockton Kings mismo, yung pong associate team ng Sacramento Kings. Sinong nakamiss dito sa Jimmy for 3? Taas ang kamay! Jimmy Alapag on our Stop and Pop. When we come back, we'll have our slam book with our Philippine powerlifting team. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin, 9:60 ng umaga. Thank you so much.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to Go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Na-miss mo ba ang game kagabi? Gusto mo bang malaman ang latest happening sa sports? Like and follow us on social media. Pwede mo nang balik-balikan ang mga paborito mong games anytime, kahit saan. At pwede mo nang i-share sa tropa. Dito lang tayo sa nag-iisang go-to tambayan ng lahat at One Sports PHL on social media.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Broadcasting live from TV5 Media Center. 25,000 watts ng balita, impormasyon, serbisyo. DWFM Radyo 5 92.3 News FM.
Power and Play. Game na sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM. Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
I'd like to do a shout out sa ating Gymnastics Association of the Philippines, si Ma'am Cynthia. Of course, they're having their Legends Performance Camp kung saan po merong 5 world-renowned mentors that are helping 100 female gymnasts and coaches dyan po sa GAP Training Center sa Intramuros. Congratulations sa ating Gymnastics Association and for this wonderful program para sa ating mga gymnasts. Coaches like si Mary Wright, Tennis Humphrey, George Kostadinov, and Kenny Houston are here. Ito po yung mga world-class coaches na dinala ng Gymnastics Association to help our athletes. And again, kami po ay saludo mula sa Philippine Sports Commission. Thank you so much for all the work that you've done for our gymnasts. Talking about our national teams, well, ito na po ang ating i-feature ngayong araw pong ito, ang powerlifting team natin sa ating slam book.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Powerlifting is an emerging sport. In fact, lately, our powerlifting team has been gathering all of the medals in the area, in the region. And today, kasama po natin sa ating slam book and putting the spotlight on powerlifting is the president of the Philippine Association of or Powerlifting Association of the Philippines, Mr. Eddie Torres, at ang ating gold medalist from the Southeast Asia Cup, no other than Raf Kahilig. Good morning, Mr. Torres. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Raf, thank you for being part of Power and Play today.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and to Raf and to all the viewers and listeners.
I'm very happy to have powerlifting on the show. Alam mo, we don't talk about it too much, but it's really growing and growing by the day. I'll begin with you, Eddie. Let me ask you, unang-una, what is the difference? Kasi marami pa rin nalilito. What is the difference between powerlifting and weightlifting?
Yes, weightlifting there are two events in weightlifting, and both are overhead lifts, the snatch and the clean and jerk. In powerlifting, there are 3 events. The first one is called the squat. I think we will see some videos later. And then the second one is the bench press, which is more popular in gyms. And the third one is the deadlift. So ang labanan dyan is the total of the 3 lifts are compared among the lifters, and the ones with the highest total wins.
All right. So in other words, very, very different in terms of the disciplines or the events that are played. For people who are not familiar, is powerlifting already part of the Southeast Asian Games calendar? And the Asian Games for that matter, Eddie?
Not yet, but we are pushing for it. We are just forming the Southeast Asian Powerlifting Federation, and we just had our first Southeast Asian Championships with the blessing of the Asian Federation and the World Federation. We now have 7 countries, 7 nations as part of the group, and 5 of them participated in the SEA Championship. So hopefully we can convince the Olympic committees to have powerlifting as part of the SEA Games. Even for the POC, I think we've shown that we are one of the powerhouses in Southeast Asia.
Well, as I mentioned, palaki ang powerlifting, and I'm just very happy that we are really getting into prominence dyan sa sport na yan. Raf, let me get to you. Magandang umaga. Unang-una, paano ka ba napasok dito? How did you get into powerlifting, Raf?
Magandang umaga, Chairman. So, typical, I think I was 11 or 12, 13 years old na nainganyo ko, gusto ko mag-gym, paganda katawan, syempre, binata eh. And then, because along the way, I started doing 1 rep max of squats and deadlift and bench. And at the time, I think I was around 15, 16, but I didn't know there was a sport of powerlifting until I got older. And luckily, when I was in college, I was able to go to the US for an internship for a year, and that's when I found out that there's a sport of powerlifting. I met some few people there, and then that's where the first time I competed powerlifting, and I really enjoyed it, and it's something that somehow where I felt like I really belong. That's why I just keep on training this, and I kept enjoying the progress.
Talking about training, no, how do you train for powerlifting? Anong klaseng techniques ang dapat mong malaman, and what is key to being a powerlifter?
Marami namang bagong mga techniques. I think from time ni Sir Eddie, it's really different. But now for us, I usually make training phases, like there's a hypertrophy where you do maximize the intensity and you build muscle. And then as papalapit yung competition, you practice more on how you carry the heavy load and the techniques. You dial it really deep down. You have to be mindful of your body and like certain angles, like foot angles mo. It really creates such difference in how you put the bar on your back on squats. Sobrang daming techniques niya. Kaya ang ganda rin yung sport kasi nakikita mo yung progress mo even with those so little na changes.
There are weight categories, no, Raf? Merong weight categories. All right. Ito, tanong lang kailangan ba talaga maging malaki ka to be a good powerlifter?
Hindi naman po.
Alright. Kasi yung mga maliliit na tao, yung mga maliliit ang frame, pwede ba maging powerlifter yan, Raf?
Yes. Sobrang dami pong mas lighter sa akin na malalakas din magbuhat. Shoutout to Sir Kix Repardo, Nestor Dulia, and Don Bernal, and other lifters pa na lighter weight. But ako kasi I decided to gain some weight because I wanted to put out the heaviest raw powerlifting total in the Philippines, which I actually did. Pero I wanted to go more beyond now, and the goal is for World Championships now.
All right. Eddie, let me go back to you. How is PAP propagating the sport? Because alam naman natin, this is again, as you said, you're very new, it's emerging. How is the grassroots program of Powerlifting Association of the Philippines?
Yeah, we have annual championships in the Visayas, the Mindanao. We started the Visayas in 1998. We started the Mindanao Championships in 2005. And more recently, we started to spread out in Luzon, starting with the Central and Northern Luzon Championships. And we are planning to eventually go south of Luzon and have the Bicol and Southern Tagalog Championships. We also have to develop not just by geography but also by age. We implemented a new category that the World Championships does not have, which is below the category called the developmental category, which are for lifters who are below 14 years old. Kasi ang minimum sa international, kahit yung mga junior championships is 14.
Right.
So ang ginawa natin dito, kahit 9 years old, 10 years old, meron na kaming pa-competition dito, national, para pag abot na ng 14, they hit the minimum age to compete international, handa na sila. Hindi yung sa 14 years old pa lang nag-uumpisa.
What is the status now of the national team, Eddie? How many athletes are in the pool? And of course, meron pa tayong mga kababaihan dyan. Also the national youth team. What is the status right now?
I would say that the lineup, it's almost even between men and women. Maybe a little bit more actually on the women. And then as sa national training team, national team, we had 21 lifters doon sa Southeast Asian Championships. None of them are in the national training pool yet of PSC, because I understand we have to be part of either the SEA Games, Asian Games, or World Championships. But it's also something we're exploring if that can be worked out.
All right.
And then for juniors, yes, malaki rin ang focus namin sa mga bata. Kasi like si Raf dati, junior lang siya. Pero ngayon, like a few years later, he became the monster he is now in lifting. No? And we have some young ones also starting, they start teenage years and later on nakakapag world records sa kanilang junior or sub-junior category. So these are the ones na, that could be the future for Philippine powerlifting.
Very exciting, and it's good to know that there are programs for every age category. And let me ask you about that, Raf. No, ito ba totoo na pag ikaw bata pa at nagsimula kang bumuhat, nag-powerlifting, hindi ka natatangkad? Totoo ba yan? Para yung mga batang may ibang nasa isip o yung mga magulang masagot ang kanilang mga katanungan. Is that true, Raf?
No, that's already a debunked myth. I think it's an old fitness myth that's already been debunked, that there's no proven or scientific backed up evidence that proves that you're not gonna get a growth spurt when you lift.
Oh,
so that means if you were short when you started lifting, I'm so sorry for you. But it's actually being short in powerlifting, it's an advantage, really.
Oo nga, because there's a lesser distance, no?
You can pack more mass, yes, that one too.
Oh.
You can pack more mass if you compete in some of the taller lifters. But then again, it does not define heart and hard work.
Right.
Very
good answer. And again, nakikita natin more and more. Of course, the gyms are proliferating now, and more people are getting into fitness. Raf, bakit bagay ang powerlifting sa mga Pilipino?
Ito kasi yung parang accessible, madali siyang sport eh. Parang hindi mo kailangan ng may kasama ka. You can handle your own time. Parang gano'n. Hindi yung may kailangan ka sundin. So parang kaya mo siya isingit anytime.
Alright.
After work mo, before work mo, bago ka pumasok sa school, gano'n. And isa rin is, tayo naman mga Pilipino, medyo lugi tayo sa height. Hindi siya kailangan ng ganun na genetics, ganun kalaki hinihingi sa genetics ng mga Pilipino.
Alright.
And I think it's really something where we can shine on in the future.
Ikaw, Raf, personally, you got 2 gold medals in the Southeast Asia Cup, where we had sangkaterbang medalya. No, we had 78 medals, I believe, in that particular competition. What do you think is your goal coming into next year, and of course the competitions next year? And what are the areas of improvement naman that you want to also focus on?
I actually got 4 medals.
4 medals. So I stand corrected.
No worries. And then goals for next year for me is I really want to compete in Worlds, because many times na akong na-nominate sa Worlds, but sadly, ang dami nangyari. Na-injury ako, na-hospital ako, and then the other one was parang hindi ako prepared. And late na ako nakapag-ensire. And hindi rin ako very healthy noon. So yun talaga goal ko ngayon, this coming year. Which is compete Worlds and hopefully win.
And get more in condition. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. For improvement, I think my biggest enemy right now is hydration. I really think I have a condition, because anytime I fast before weighing in a powerlifting competition, I cramp like really bad. So I think that's one thing that I need to take account on. Pero training wise and like lifts wise, I think I can do more and improve more.
All right.
Just by training. Yeah.
Well, that's an area talagang we're looking at sa Philippine Sports Commission. And Eddie, obviously sports science is very important in powerlifting. Sabi nga ni Raf, nutrition will be very important. Eddie, do you think these are things that the PAP needs, and additional support coming from the PSC?
Yes, definitely. If we can help our athletes, their diet, to be able to lift more, to be in better shape, to be healthier, then yes, it would be a big boost.
In terms of in terms of your competition schedule, Eddie, how does it look next year? Saan ba tayo sasali? And of course, what are your expectations next year for our powerlifters?
Siguro ang exciting para sa powerlifting community is that we are hosting the Southeast Asian Championships next year.
Nice.
So dyan, malaking team ang mapapatila natin. In Malaysia, we were actually tied for first place. But ang katay namin, yung host country, tsaka Singapore, nakatabi ng host country, 1 hour away driving, no? So, hindi natin napadala yung buong team. Siyempre, merong mga limitations sa resources. But we were able to tie for first place. So, next year when we host the C Cup, we are targeting to win the overall championships. Then aside from the C Cup, we are also aiming to send lifters to the World Championships and the Asian Championships. Although the Asian Championships we will actually be having in 2 months this year in Dubai. But we also want to join the same event next year.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, I'm looking forward to getting powerlifting, accredited with the Southeast Asian Games because I know marami tayong pwedeng hakutin na medalya dyan, and we certainly will be working with the Philippine Olympic Committee for this. As a final note, Raf, siguro just an invitation to our youth, to our mga mahihilig bumuhat and join the sport of powerlifting.
Yun, sana maraming maengganyo kasi sobrang saya ng sport na to. Hindi lang siya nagbe-build na physically stronger. It also builds character. It humbles you down. It, like I said, creates character and camaraderie. And sa sport kasi ng powerlifting, if you ever, sobrang daming bansa nung Southeast Asian Cup, but like, kahit magkakalaban kayo sa bansa, everybody cheers for each other. Parang ganun. So, sobrang ganda talaga ng community niya. And for the youth, sana mas marami ang ganyan, like I said, and baka mayroong mga untapped potential or talents na hindi natin alam. So, we want to improve them. And para mag-bring din like what we did in Southeast Asia, bring home medals and honors for the country.
Thank you very much. And certainly, we're looking forward na lalo pang lumaki ang powerlifting community. Eddie, thank you for joining us today. I hope to meet you personally one of these days. And of course, Raf, continue repping our country very well. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mga kaibigan, ang ating mga kaibigan from the Powerlifting Association of the Philippines, the presidente po nila, Mr. Eddie Torres, and of course, our 4 na medalya sa Southeast Asia Cup. No other than the monster, sabi nga ni Mr. Torres, no? Si Raf Kahilig, ang ating powerlifter na gold medalist. Alright, tuloy-tuloy po tayo mga kaibigan sa oras na 9:37. We're just about ready to bring in our final interview of the morning. Alam natin na magbubukas na po ang UAAP Season 85. What an exciting time once again for many of the sports fans, especially in the collegiate ranks. And of course, today, opening day ng Season 85 ng basketball competitions. But of course, UAAP is not just about basketball. It's a full calendar. And to talk about that, kasama po natin ngayon ang UAAP Executive Director, Counselor Attorney Rebo Saguisag. Magandang umaga, ED Rebo. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes. Very clear.
Ayun. Good morning, Nolly. In fact, we have actually opened. Nandito ako sa Mall of Asia Arena ngayon. May women's games na already.
Wow! Ang galing, ha? That's so exciting. Talagang, and I'm sure marami lang tao, maaga pa lang.
Yes, I'm very happy that the patron, I'm sure the fans will be happy na open yung patron.
Yes,
but, again, open yung patron. Pero yung bandang likod ng we beg for understanding, yung immediately behind the benches, medyo restricted area pa rin. Only to ensure
that's good.
Safety of
that's good.
Players.
ED Rebo, this is the second season in a calendar year, actually, na ginawa ninyo. Medyo naninibago ka ba dyan? At saka, may mga may mga problema ba dun sa short gap between the 2 seasons?
Yeah, but it's like I always say, no, it's a good problem to have. No, I'd rather be doing this rather than doing nothing. It's been challenging, pero or Chair Nolly, no, ang pinaka problema namin ngayon, aside from the short gap, is yung para tayong nasa alanganin eh. Nung nagsimula kasi kami last year, okay, pre-pandemic is easy, and then we had the pandemic, nung bubble, very very clear ang lines. So madali, mahigpit, saka no restrictions. Pero yung nag-aalangan ka na pwede na ba o hindi, yan ang nag-navigate kami because fans expect more, some of our stakeholders expect more. So yun ang tinatry namin i-manage yung expectations. Like I said, I mentioned, one of which is yung benches sa patron sa likod ng benches, bakit wala pang tao. So maraming hindi makaintindi pa. I know it's not perfect, but we will improve as we go along. That's why I want to be here early para to assess the situation, consult our medical experts, and continuously update our protocols.
All right. Well, of course, ang sabi ko nga, ang UAAP naman is not only about basketball, ang dami-daming sports na hindi nalaro in season 84 na ika nga nangungulila din ang mga students, looking for those sports. What is the plan for season 85, ED, in terms of the number of sports that will be played, and of course, what's new with season 85 basketball?
Okay, ganito na lang, no. Syempre ang plan is, no, unlike season 84, just to ensure na matuloy, we limited the variables, which is parang 5 sporting disciplines now. We're targeting, no, the 21 sporting disciplines. Spread across around 60 or so divisions, men, women, boys, and girls. Marami-rami yan, but lagi may kulatilya though, no, on that, depending on the situation pa rin. And syempre may high school. Of course, we also have to coordinate with DepEd. Baka may iba silang So meron kaming disclaimer lang na konti na while we are targeting a full calendar, it will all depend on the LGUs and existing laws and regulations. So for basketball naman, lagi na pag-uusapan yung head coaches challenge, which is very interesting.
Yes.
I'm sure the coaches were looking for this. Even the fans, no, we want to get the right call. So yan ang excited din ako today, how it will actually affect the game, no? Oo.
Puntahan ko muna yung mga yung ibang sports ninyo. Meron bang bago? Meron ba kayong bagong i-introduce na sport, or this is the standard the regular sports that you have been playing?
Okay, to be honest, maraming katatapos lang ng perfect segue, yung weightlifting. That's one of the events na nag-pitch na rin sa amin and we all understand why. Oo. Kaya lang, right now kasi, syempre, in as much as we're trying to go back to normal, siguro unahin muna namin yung events that we have kasi open naman kami pero hindi siya talaga priority kasi baka naman mauna pa yung bago tapos yung nangungulila na established teams baka hindi pa makalaro. So, to be honest, we're prioritizing what we already have to a full return of that full calendar, then maybe here and there baka maka-plug in kami ng special or demo event. So right now, wala talagang clear-cut na nakaplano na bagong sporting discipline.
Okay. Well, at least nakabalik na. Yun ang mas mahalaga kahit na wala pang bago. And I'm sure with the kind of innovation that ng UAAP is known for, makakakita tayo na napakaraming magagandang competition. Idi, of course, sabi mo kanina, you're still concerned about the health and safety protocols. Meron pa rin kayong mga sinusunod. Just a question, what about kung alam naman natin ngayon, although hindi na masyadong gumagrabe, marami pa rin mga kaso. No? So, in terms of that, ano pa ba ang rules ninyo? Kung na-expose man ang player, hindi ba siya makakalaro? Ano ba ang rules dyan tungkol sa isolation?
Yeah, we follow the current, na pagka nag-positive ka, but we only use the, not only na, but yung antigen test kasi ang standard, according to our expert, that means you're already infectious. So, if you test, we give the test kits to the schools. They have to test a day before the game. At pag nag-test positive yan, hindi nasasama sa bus para hindi maka-contaminate. Makahawa. Ngayon, to be clear, even the CHED actually does not require a test. Kami mismo ang nag-i-impose, self-impose ito to be over and above the minimum public health standards kasi talagang we have the resources naman and we're willing to pay the price, if only to ensure the health and safety of all participants, particularly the student athletes.
Okay. Let me go to another topic. Recently, nagpasa kayo ng isang policy on a cap on student athlete allowances and benefits, and you place the cap at about 15,000 maximum. Una, what is the rationale behind the limit, ED Rebo?
Okay, the rationale behind the limit is supposedly, ang gusto namin talaga, we go back to the ideals that your choice of school should really be anchored on just two things, no? Yung either the academic program or the sports program. Talagang naniniwala ka dun sa sports program na yon. Or maybe even both and nothing else. No, wag na yung mga extra sana. I know it's a lofty ideal. I know that people will be asking kung paano namin i-implement. Pero kasi we have to start somewhere, no? To begin with, paminsan kasi even the people who don't intend to do it, hindi naman kasi alam. So dito kami to say na merong cap, and then we'll try to, again, no, hindi naman to cast in stone. We will try, and then continuous feedback naman din from the managers and to existing laws kasi nagbabago din eh. Noong una, katulad for example, yung endorsements, no? But the Magna Carta for student athletes supposedly provides na pwede na to. So yan naman, napag-uusapan lahat.
Binabalanse.
Binabalanse namin, and at least we make a stand right now. But we are always open for dialogue. In fact, we had a consultation and meeting with the managers and coaches as well.
Alam mo, of course, ang very, very known practice is that many schools go on a pitching tour, no? Kumbaga, it's a road show where they pitch their schools to many athletes, lalong-lalo na abroad, no? And when they go on that, maraming na ipapangako, maraming na nasasabi. How does this particular new rule on limits on what can be given parang align with that problem na alam naman natin pag nagre-recruit napakaraming sinasabi. Do you feel that this can be addressed in the future as well?
Yeah, dapat lang. Dapat naman mag-align sila dun sa aming no? But again, ang sabi naman ng Student Athletes Protection Act, no, yung mga given, yung mga tuition, medical, given na yan eh. Pero yung mga extras talagang dapat sana, especially mga signing bonus na, of course, we hear so many things. So sana walang ganon. They have to align with us. But again, some of our regulations just provide for repertorial para we have a database and start somewhere. Hindi basta umuhugot lang po saan. Yeah.
Siguro that's part of your policing power. Paano nyo may implement itong rule na to? No, okay. And a final note on that, do you think that itong rule na to eventually will be expanded? And then, do you think that this will bring parity sa UAAP if you feel medyo hindi pa?
Well, that's the goal. That's the goal. Talagang yun ang namin. Hopefully, mas strengthen talaga siya. But again, ayun naman namin kasing one-sided is where we see things, no? So, kailangan talaga ng continuous dialogue, continuous yearly review, if not even more, para talagang ma-improve siya at have everyone sign off on it, and then eventually have everyone cooperate. So that's the goal. That's the goal.
Ang key dyan talaga is transparency and of course integrity in applying this rule. And obviously the UAAP member schools are all educational institutions. I think that's something that's in their core values already. ED, let me you touch it on this a little bit. Yung Department Order number 34 ng DepEd in terms of yung extracurricular activities that it is not being allowed for the high school area. How are you dealing with this? Is there already a communication with the Department of Education, ED Rebo, mula sa UAAP?
That's part of our no? We have to, again, in as much as we coordinated with SHED, we will also coordinate with the DepEd. And right now, we're already preparing our position paper, no, na how, for the student athlete, at least, no, that this is not necessarily covered by the extracurricular, it's in fact co-curricular. So yan yung mga steps na again, no, just like we're navigating unprecedented waters, no? So hopefully the DepEd naman, and following the model that we had for season 84, the zero incidents, sana naman mapakinggan din kami, mabigyan ng kasi kung face-to-face classes is already allowed, why put the student athlete in a parang worse position, no, than everybody else. And we know ang edukasyon ngayon, holistic na multi-intelligence, and these athletes are gifted, no? and let them fly their wares.
All right. But in the meantime, is the junior competition going to be on hold? Ganun ba yan?
Hindi naman.
Tuloy pa
Nakaplano
rin.
rin siya. But again, we will submit our maybe a little bit tighter protocols than it is for the men's and women's division. So para naman mapayagan, hindi na tayo magka-problema.
Okay. Let me go to another topic now. Yung alam natin one of the biggest discussions now is about player departure. Huwag na natin sabihing exodus or poaching. I'd rather just call it, they're players leaving for abroad, including college players na umaalis. No? RJ Abrientos, of course, is one of the examples na meron pang playing years and yet he decided to go abroad. Is this a concern for the UAAP, ED?
Okay, thank you, Com. Miski ako, no, kasi I just wanted to, medyo na ko doon sa Exodus kasi in fact, parang may dating is mass, no?
Oo, hindi naman eh.
Oo, hindi eh. But siguro, sige, one good talent may be enough. But again, I like your example, Com, Chair, kasi some people would like to talk about SJ Belangel, but si SJ kasi gumraduate na. And you cannot, obviously, graduate, you cannot really compel him to finish his playing years. But in the case of RJ naman, nag-iisa for now, and yun nga, it can hardly be characterized as exodus. But at the end of the day, kami naman from our perspective, no, this is not necessarily a new problem. We have been losing players to other collegiate leagues, even the professional ranks across all sports. And what is education if not to give your players a better life or more opportunities to succeed?
Right.
And that is how we see it right now. And in terms of basketball naman, Tom Noli, no, parang we believe na we're not lacking in talent eh.
Yes,
so if at all, they're just the second or third stringers there na was waiting for their chance, no, para mapakita ang kanilang galing.
Oh. So in other words, no need to come up with any measures sa inyong as far as you're concerned. Wala naman kayong gagawin na hakbang para maging stricto pa ang UAAP, pigilan ng ibang players or magkaroon ng additional regulations.
Yeah, sa ngayon na pag-uusapan pero wala man ng concrete. Although yung ComChair, no, in a way, even the maximum benefits rule probably could help, meaning we're sending a message to the kids ay yung values nyo talaga na wag muna pera agad. Tingnan nyo muna, are you going to this school because of the academic program or the sports program? Hindi dahil sa kung ano man yung ibibigay sa inyong allowances or kung ano man. Okay. Hopefully that helps also.
But what does it say to you, ED? Now, you have players like si Carl Tamayo, si Kevin Kembao, and many more that are now being eyed, and of course nasa national team. What does it say about the level ng UAAP and the kind of program that our schools have in terms of basketball?
Well, yun na nga. Thanks for mentioning also again, kami kasi sa nakikita namin, kami sobrang proud, no, from where we sit, no, na in fact, to be honest, just 2 weeks ago, I was with Mark Molina at Montinola of FU. We attended a Singapore industry leaders in world sports, no. There was a convention and guests from the B-League were there. Sa presentation nila, halos kalahati yata, puro Pilipino yung pinapakita eh. So sabi ko, sa amin galing yung mga yan, the Ravena Brothers. Nakakilig, no? And nagpa-picture kami syempre after, our players.
Iba talaga pag gano'n. And of course, napapakita natin. Alam mo, yun nga, sometimes we have just to turn it around. Minsan ang ating kasing thinking laging negative But maybe we can turn it around na magaling kami mag-produce ng basketball player. So maybe you should value more our programs. You should give us more support, etc., etc. No? Because again, sa buhay nga, they say, when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. Di ba? Hindi naman laging problema ang dapat nating sinusuong. ED, before I let you go, alam natin na ang season ninyo will also run through the windows of Gilas. What is the stand? Hindi lamang of on basketball, but the stand of the UAAP sa mga national team in terms of lending your athletes to our NSAs.
Ano naman kami, like I said, no, the essence of the UAP really is in support of the National Sports Program. So far as the FIBA is concerned, yung fifth, what we do, it is in November, no, we will give way, no, if only to give talaga to players, and also for us to focus on those for the country to enjoy and our stakeholders to dun muna. So pahinga kami from November 7 to 15. So we stop at November 6 and resume on 16. So even next year when we host the FIBA World Cup, mag-a-adjust din kami. And this was only made possible by, again, coordination with the NSA. So yun ang importante. We want to open more communication lines with all the NSAs. Mag-usap lang palagi. And again, lahat naman po, naniniwala ako na pag-uusapan.
Alright. Well, Edi, good luck sa season 85. I know you're very busy. And of course, enjoy the games and congratulations already sa magiging very successful na season ng UAAP. Maraming salamat, Edi Rebo.
Maraming salamat.
Mga kaibigan, ng ating pong kaibigan ng UAAP Executive Director, Counselor Attorney Rebo Saguisag. And again, congratulations to the UAAP sapagkat malapit na pong magbukas. Sabi nga ni Attorney Rebo, nagsisimula na yung women's competition. Mamaya po ang laban, Adamson UST, Lasal UP. Naku, napakaganda niya. Panoorin niyo po yan over One Sports, no? Meron din tayong UAAP channel, I know, sa Signal, no? So, panoorin niyo po yan over Signal TV. Alright, bago tayo magtapos, gusto ko lang pong basahin lahat ng ating mga nanalo sa ating Joyride Top-Up promo dito po sa Power and Play. Mga nanalo po ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits, ha? Sila Sheila May Gragasin. Congratulations, Sheila May. Daniel Clavesillas Jr., Charlotte Rivera, Jamie Lee Tamundong at si Christopher Tuason. Lahat po kayo nanalo ng 1,000 pesos sa Joyride Super App Top Up Promo. 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits, ha? Dito po sa Power and Play. Again, thank you sa pamunuan ng Joyride Super App, ang bago ninyong kasundo. And of course, bago tayo magtapos, gusto ko pong basahin ng ilang mga nagpadala ng kanilang komentaryo doon sa ating pong tinatanong, sino ba ang sa tingin nyo so far ang pinaka-impressive na import sa Commissioner's Cup? Naku, ang dami nagpadala, no? Mula kay Melissa Batumbakal, sabi niya, for me, it's Josh Powell. Monster numbers shows this guy and he shows he is up to the challenge, taking a last winning shot. Talaga, magaling naman talaga yung si Powell, no? Miles Powell, I think that's what you mean. Miles Powell, hindi si John. Miles Powell, no? Alright, mula naman kay Mark Suba, Miles Powell, Powerman Powell, the best import so far by Miles. Katuwa yun. Mula kay Chris, Justin Brownlee pa rin because he's ready to play this conference and take the national team duties. Aba, tama naman yan. Although, again, si Justin, siya sa isa pinakamaliit na import, masusubukan talaga siya. Si Kevin Rineby. Ito, maraming sagot na ganito, ha. Robert Bolick, ang kanyang pinakamagaling na import. Abay, kung maglaro naman si Robert Bolick kasi parang import, no? Mula kay Kurosaki, Deadpool, Powell so far, and Rakocevic. Kasi one game pa lang, mahirap sabihin kung kaya niya gawin yun consistently. From JM, yung import ng SMB mukhang malakas. Junmar Fajardo ang pangalan. Pambira kayo. Mula naman kay MJ Gasulgon, Clark Powell Rakocevic, no? So puro magagaling. Si D, sabi rin niya, Robert Bolick. Kita nyo? Sabi ko sa inyo Mula kay Hill Gabriel, si Bolick ang malupit na import. Galagang impressed kayo, ha? Mula kay Moki Mox, ang pangalan si Rakocevic ang kanya ding sinabi. Si Alvinis TV, Berto Bolick ang kanyang binanggit. And of course, si NBR, sabi rin niya ay si Robert Bolick. Ang dami talaga mga ganyan, mga nagsasabing si Robert Bolick daw ang magaling. But again, it's been a very impressive year, cup so far, Commissioner's Cup. The imports are magagaling po, kaya supportahan po natin, panoorin po natin ng PBA. Talagang dadami pa ang mga magagandang laro. And of course, napakarami pa pong mga naglalaro mga ibang liga, NCAA, UAAP, and of course, yung pong Shakey's Super League, yung Chooks to Go na 3XT dyan po sa Cebu, at marami pang iba. But more importantly, ating po suportahan ng Philippine sports. This is our year. Ito po ang ating panahon para maging mapagmalaki po natin ang ating mga atleta na talaga pong lumalaban para sa bayan. Dahil ang panalo po ng atleta ay panalo ng bayan. That'll do it for us this morning sa Power and Play. Ako po ay nagpapasalamat muli sa inyong lahat sa inyong pong pagsubaybay. Lagi kong pong pinapaalala tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit. At sa lahat po ng ating gawain, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH Teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inay ko po. Happy Sports Weekend mga kapatid! More power, more play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at magpapatalo, ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ng bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, sumbe, sibay, lakay, maniga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko